So I made a new Minecraft mod. I've put about 3 months of work into it, and it's finally finished. You may notice there is some numbers on the screen. Those are the Minecraft and mod versions. Now, why are there different versions for the mod? Reason why is that each version of the mod adds new blocks based off what was added in the Minecraft version it is tied to. Now that I'm done all the explaining of the versions, let's go to the tour. Well, welcome to the tour of my Minecraft mod variant decorations. Now, this building shows everything that is in the mod. That includes new and old blocks. So, let's get in. This first set of cubbies is the new walls, stairs, and slabs for older Minecraft blocks like stone, polished andesite, diorite, granite, smooth stone, and deep slate on this side. Then we have, on this side, we have snow, just about to call it smooth snow, packed ice, blue ice, prismarine brick, dark prismarine, and packed mud. Love that sound. Moving on to the next section, these are the first new blocks, those being polished stone, which is crafted with 4 cobblestone and makes 4 polished stone. This can also make stone bricks. This is an easier way to make them than using, well, stone. Then we have stone tiles, which is made from 4 stone bricks. This is made the same crafting recipe, or the same way, has the same crafting recipe as deep slate tiles. Over here is actually blackstone tiles, so it's made the same way that you would make deep slate tiles using polished blackstone bricks and they make polished blackstone tiles. I know I don't call them polished blackstone tiles, but they are polished blackstone tiles. So yeah, over here is smooth deep slate and smooth blackstone. This is basically just you cook a piece of blackstone and it makes smooth blackstone, and then you cook a piece of deep slate and it makes smooth deep slate. Then over here we have gilded polished blackstone, which is made with 2 gilded blackstone and 2 polished blackstone, makes 2 gilded polished blackstone. And then over here we have chiseled polished gilded blackstone, which is made from 8 polished gilded blackstone and 1 chiseled gilded or chiseled blackstone, makes 1 chiseled polished gilded blackstone. Gosh, I had to count with my fingers to make that name. I hate that name so much, but you know what? It's fine. That's how it probably it will be. I hate that. Anyways, over here we have our first material blocks, those being echo blocks, flint blocks, and charcoal blocks. Yes, it makes a wood sound, but it's not breakable by your hand. This is made out of echo shards. This should probably be yellow like the echo shards, but this makes a echo block, which is made from 4 echo shards. And then these 2 are made with 9 of their respective ingredients to make their blocks. Yes, it makes the deep slate sound. I know. Then we have the cut iron set, in a very expensive way to make cut iron. Cut iron is basically like cut copper, literally the exact same as cut copper. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. It's the exact same as cut copper. It's just made out of iron instead of copper. And iron and copper are now sharing items like cut copper and chains and bars and doors and pressure plates and buttons. But we'll get to the pressure plates and buttons later. I just spoiled. Anyways, this is the deep slate furnace. This is the blackstone furnace, made the same way you would make a regular furnace, but with deep slate blackstone. Now over here is the deep slate and blackstone smokers. they're made the same way you would make, you know, the smoker, but with these furnaces in the middle. Then over here we have the deep slate blast furnace and the deep slate and the blackstone blast furnace, made the same way you would make regular blackstone or regular blast furnaces, not blackstone furnaces. But you would put smooth deep slate or smooth blackstone at the bottom, and obviously these furnaces in the middle. Then over here we have the smooth soil stone, which is made from soul soil. 4 of that makes 1 smooth soil, or 1 soul soil stone. Gosh, I hate that. Then 4 of this makes 4 cut soil stone. Basically, all of these are made the same way you would make their sandstone equivalent. A little skeleton head. I don't know if it's a wither or regular, but yeah. And then this is a new block for the sandstones, but I haven't got to that yet. I think it's over here. But yeah, this is like soul soil stone bricks, which are made the same, or cut soul soil stone bricks, which are made with 4 cut soul soil stone. Yeah. Now moving on to this side, we're gonna go to this side first because that side has the glass panes. I don't really wanna. So this is the hardened glass, made with 4 iron and 1 glass, makes 4 hardened glass, or hardened stained glass like these, or the simple dye method. And this is made the same way that you would make tinted glass. This is tinted glass, this is black stained glass. There's a difference. You know, I'm not gonna say look it up. No, doesn't make sense to you. Now moving on down to the first colored set. Well, that's the first colored set. This is the first real colored set, that being cut concrete. It is made with 4 of any concrete, makes 4 of any concrete. So that means this would be made of white, this would be made of, and this would be made of pink concrete. Now these make this cut concrete, which would be a nice floor design, maybe a nice bathroom tile wall. I don't know what you would use, red or brown, or I mean black might be used for something. But I feel like someone could figure out a way to use any of these in a build. I just personally haven't. But over here, we have the end stuff. We have purple bricks, which is made with 4 purple. Very simple. Smooth purple, which is made by smelting regular purple. Make smooth purple. I may remove this border from it because it doesn't really need a border, since it's matching smooth quartz. Now over here we have void stone, which is made with 8 end stone and 1 ender pearl, makes 8 void stone. This is from my old mod that isn't available anymore. So the void stone is, yeah, it's just made with end stone and is from my old mod. Same with void stone bricks. It's made the same way as any other brick block. And over here we have chiseled purple, which is made with 4 purple slabs, and chiseled void stone, which is made with 2 void stone slabs. The Eye of Ender. That's definitely the Eye of Ender, if I remember correctly. Anyways, moving on down to here, we have the concrete pillars. Concrete pillars are made with any concrete slab. That's a teaser. Over there is concrete slabs. But yeah, it makes any concrete pillar. Basically, these are just pillar blocks for all the concrete colors. And you can place them legitimately anywhere where a pillar could go. And it's just nice to have stuff like a blue, a green, and a black pillar. Yeah, each of these are gray pillar too. I mean, you could just probably use basalt though, but yeah. Over here we have obsidian bricks, which are made with 4 obsidian, makes 4 obsidian bricks. Now, these can't be made into a nether portal. I know. It sucks. But if I made them into an... I don't know. Maybe I'll learn how to make it into a nether portal, but... Right now, they don't make nether portals. Same with obsidian pillars, which are made with 2 obsidian slabs. Makes 1 obsidian pillar. And 4 for the chiseled obsidian. Yeah, it looks really neat. You can see the top when... Yeah, that's the top. They share the top, actually. It's kind of nice to add into a build. And then over here, we have cut quartz, which is made with 2 nether quartz and 1 quartz, and 2 quartz blocks, makes 4 cut quartz. Basically, it just makes this nice tile quartz set. It's just nice, honestly. I'd even say it's nicer than white cut concrete, because it just looks nicer, in my opinion, than white cut concrete. This is what you would use for a cut, like a nice, pristine marble looking floor. Anyways, over here we have more just normal Minecraft blocks turned into stairs, slabs, and walls, including netherrack, which is, I'm gonna say, the best one, because you can use it anytime you go to the nether. You just collect a lot of netherrack, plop them into some stairs, make some stairs. It's great. Also slabs, makes people not spawn. Also obsidian and magma. Magma still hurts you, even on the stairs and the slabs and the walls. I can't show that because I don't have a way to show it, but yeah. Over here we have the concrete stair slab and walls. They're just kind of colored stairs, slabs, and walls. That's it. Literally. So, it's very useful. I might add glass stairs, slabs, and walls eventually. Yeah, that's a spoiler, I guess. I didn't add glass stairs, slabs, and walls. I know. Wild. But over here we have the terracotta to obviously pair with the concrete. This has every color of terracotta, including base terracotta, and yeah, I did including base terracotta, which I'm guessing wouldn't be included because base terracotta is different than the colored cart. The colored cotta. Cotta? Anyways, I don't know what to call them. But yeah, and then we have dripstone and calcite, and then these sandstone sets, adding stairs, slabs, and walls to each of them, obviously, except for the ones that, yeah, if you don't see a slab or a stair on each of these, that means it already exists in Minecraft. So, let's just say, you see how there's no cut sandstone slabs? Those already exist in Minecraft, if you didn't know. And same with there's smooth sandstone stairs, but no smooth sandstone wall. That's the reason why stone walls don't exist in Minecraft, but it doesn't make sense, obviously. But over here we have dye blocks, these insta-breakable blocks made out of 9 of any dye. And they're one color, legitimately. That is the main point of them. They do not have any like flourishes, no like little dots or textures. They are one strict color. And that's what's unique about the dye block. They do not have any shading, nothing. They're legitimately, this is just white all the way around, which is honestly great for pixel art. I think. I've never done a lot of pixel art. But over here we have, remember what I said about earlier, the smooth soilstone bricks, or cut soilstone bricks. This is the cut sandstone bricks and the cut red sandstone bricks. They're made the same way you would make soilstone bricks and any other bricks. 4 of the item makes bricks. Then over here we have chiseled bricks made with 2 brick slabs. You see the little brick pyramid in it? Yeah, that's a reference to the brick pyramid, which is found in, you know, alpha versions of Minecraft, I think. But yeah, I wanted to add the brick pyramid because it's kind of like, it's a unique design to have for chiseled bricks, because it's like, this used to exist in Minecraft. So it's honestly kind of the nicest thing to exist in this, like, thing. It's kind of like how the old Warden design is on the Chiseled Deep Slate. Or not Chiseled Deep Slate. Yeah, Chiseled Deep Slate. I was actually right. Let's move on to Terracotta Bricks, which is in all the colors. Which is made with four terracotta blocks. Any terracotta blocks make 4 terracotta bricks, and then 8 terracotta bricks plus 1 die makes any colored terracotta brick. Normal colored bricks are colored blocks. We don't have colored bricks before. This is the first colored bricks. And you see all over the walls and even in the ceilings, I'm using I think this is cyan. This is cyan bricks, or cyan terracotta bricks, and then up there is blue terracotta bricks. Yes, this is blue, not purple. I know a lot of people are probably going to say that. It looks like purple. Terracotta has weird colors. We already know this. Then over here we have 2 endstone slabs, makes chisel endstone, but this is the endstone set. Now, why is it not with any of the other old Minecraft blocks sets? The reason is I didn't have space. There was, what was it, like a certain amount, and that was an odd number. So I couldn't put it together that it would be able to have endstone there. So I ended up putting endstone on its own, which is fine, because all it adds is endstone, chiseled endstone, and the endstone stairs, slabs, and walls. Now over here we have magma bricks, which is made with 4 magma, makes 4 magma bricks. Now these are, like the original magma blocks, do damage. They don't do a lot of damage, they actually do a little less than magma blocks before, but yeah, they do a little less damage than magma blocks. But over here is their counterpart for the overworld, the bubble block, made with 2 bubble orbs and 2 prismarine shards. If you didn't know, magma bricks are made with 4 magma cream. These bubble orbs I will show later how you get them, but the bubble block is made with 2 of them and 2 prismarine shards. That's why it looks kind of blue. It's made of prismarine. Same with the bubble bricks, made with 4 bubble blocks, and makes 4 bubble bricks. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the chiseled magma bricks and the chiseled bubble bricks, made with 2 magma brick slabs and made with 2 bubble brick slabs. And they have a blaze and squid on them. I also didn't talk about how the endstone has a elytra on it. But yeah. Neat, isn't it? Now over here we have the hardened glass panes. They have the same crafting recipe as the hardened glass. So yeah, it's just kind of neat. I didn't actually talk about this when I got to hardened glass. They have high blast resistance and can only be broken by stone tools and above. Moving on to the tinted glass panes, which are made with 6 tinted glass, makes 16 tinted glass panes. This is just glass panes for tinted glass. As you see, they still darken, the area underneath, but if you stand in the block that they're in, it will darken, overall. Now over here we have golden doors and trapdoors. They're made the same way you would make iron trapdoors. Then that's kind of it. They're neat. The reason why I made them was because of heavy-weighted pressure plate and light-weighted pressure plates. They're both redstone items, and iron has a door. So I thought, give gold a door. And copper also has a door, but yeah, gold will not be sharing much else with iron and copper. Mostly because I didn't want to make cut gold and other gold items. But maybe eventually I'll make stuff like cut gold and all those other gold ingredient stuff. I'm not making a diamond door, though. That's the one thing I will never make. Because I find diamonds don't need block sets. Because you can just use blue. Anyways, moving on to the crafting blocks, or the table, or the workplace blocks. Obviously, crafting tables aren't workplaces, but these are crafting tables for every type of wood. That includes spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, mangrove, cactus, which I haven't introduced yet, crimson, warped, and wooden, which I also haven't introduced yet. But these are all, they work the same as a regular crafting table. They're just, you know, in that wood type. So yeah, neat, isn't it? Over here is a smithing table, the barrel, and the cartography table. Now, all of these don't work with villagers. I know, it's kind of weird, but they do have a crafting recipe using one of these, and a crafting table makes one of a special smithing table block, a special barrel block, and a special cartography block that makes workplaces work. Basically, it's just a retextured version of the original smithing, cartography, and barrel blocks. And that's the reason why they exist. Anyways, and also crafting tables don't have that because the oak crafting table, and it's also not a workplace, technically. Anyways, moving on to the ladder. The final, I called them workplaces, but they're just wooden set blocks, is what I would call them. But this actually has a new crafting recipe for all ladders. Not just any new ladder. It includes oak ladders as well. I just need to find the oak ladder. Yep. So the oak ladder is now made with a slab in the middle and 6 sticks on each side. That's just so it can be made into any type of ladder. So that would mean spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, mangrove, cactus, warped, or crimson, warped, and finally wooden. Yeah, those are all the new, I guess you would say, new ladders. Over here, we have the new iron bar types, those being the light and heavy iron bars, made with 6 nuggets and 6 blocks, respectively. Now, each of these makes 16. I may change this recipe. I'm definitely going to change this recipe. It might be 6 iron bars instead to make 6 heavy bars, but I don't know. 6 heavy iron bars. Gotta remember to add the iron. But, yeah, that's kind of it. But now we're going to move on to the stone cutters. These are the deep slate and blackstone stone cutters. Each of them are used like regular stone cutters, but they're just made of deep slate and blackstone instead of stone. And it's made with full deep slate and full blackstone, not cobbled deep slate. You cannot make cobbled deep slate into a deep slate stone cutter. I may do that eventually. I don't know. But let's move on to this way. We'll go this way. So this way is, I'm not going to cover this side yet. These are the copper regular and soul lanterns. They're made the same way you would make a regular copper or a regular lantern, but instead use a copper nugget instead of a copper ingot. Now these are made the same way you would make iron and gold nuggets, by putting a copper ingot into a crafting table. So yeah, let's move on to, well, cactus. This is the cactus set. That includes the block, the plank, the stair, the slab, the fence gate, the door, the trap door, the pressure plate, the button, and the sign. There is no strip variants for cactus because it's made with actual cactus, and it makes 2 cactus planks. It's honestly really nice to add this, and also now cactus is, I think, burnable and can be used as a fuel source, but don't Don't get mad at me if that's actually not true. I'll figure that out if it isn't true. Anyways, over here we have the stone-like pressure plates. They are cobblestone, polished stone, deep slate, cobbled deep slate, polished deep slate, and blackstone. Now, right now, there's only stone and polished blackstone, so I wanted to add all these because I just wanted to add them. They're kind of nice. Anyways, moving on to this side with its new buttons, those being the same as the pressure plates. I'm not going to say them again. I just covered the pressure plates, so yeah, they're the same as the pressure plates. Over here, we have the wood set. Now, this includes the plank, log, stripped log, wood, stripped wood, stair slab, fence gate, door, trap door, pressure plate button, sign, leaves, and sapling, which the sapling actually has a crafting recipe, being one of each of these saplings, and then 3 of any log makes 3 wooden saplings. And the fun thing about the leaves is that they drop each of these 6 saplings, but not the actual sapling. So you gotta obviously create it again. Now I could have it so these 6 saplings can be made, or these 6 saplings are interchangeable, but I like this better because it's kind of neat. Because it basically makes it so you have to collect all of these to obtain the wooden set. I mean, I know the wooden set's kind of weird color, but it makes sense when you know what it comes from. It comes from the chest texture. This is the chest color. The chest obviously uses a unique color and texture to it. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Over here, we have snow bricks, which are, well, initially made with 6 snowballs and 1 ice, makes 8 snow bricks, which can be made into snow bricks. This is a snow brick. This makes snow bricks. I know. I hate how they don't call these brick pieces, and I might change that later with all the bricks, because it's kind of hard to say snow brick and then snow bricks. It's okay, though. It's fine. But yeah, this is the crafting recipe, and then this is the crafting recipe for chiseled snow bricks, having a little igloo in the middle with some snowflakes on the side. I kind of had a trouble trying to make what would be in the middle of this snow bricks. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult, but yeah, it's neat, I guess you could say. Then over here we have ice bricks, which is made with 2 packed ice and 2 blue ice, makes 4 ice bricks. These are practically just nice, cool blue ice or blocks that can be used for, well, ice castles, I guess you would use them for. But yeah, they use the same texture as the packed mud texture, but instead now have ice in them, to make them icy bricks. Then over here we have the strongest bit of ice, black ice, made with 5 blue ice and 4 packed ice. Makes 1 ice brick. Now if you stand on this, this will obviously do 2 things. It will extinguish you, but it also will damage you. And even if you click it, it will damage you. Now, this is obviously only like 0.1, where if you stand on it, it's 1 whole thing. But if you try to break it with anything, it will turn into packed ice. You need a Silk Touch iron pickaxe to obtain this block. It's wild, I know. But anyways, over here we have what I was talking about earlier, how I was going to skip that area. We have the light copper bars, the regular copper bars, and then I'll go over. I know I'm doing a lot of switching. This is the heavy copper bars, and these are the copper chains. Now these are obviously made the same way you would make iron bars, and copper chains are made the same way you would make iron chains. And so yeah, that's kind of it. also a unique function of chains now in my mod is now that they're climbable. You can climb chains and copper chains like you can climb a ladder. Now moving over to the final copper item for now, or actually yeah, final copper item period, not for now, is the copper pressure plate, or the copper weighted pressure plates, all 4 types, made the same way you made iron and gold weighted pressure plates. Yes, I said they were light weighted pressure plates and heavy weighted pressure plates before, but now they are iron and gold. That's mostly so copper weighted pressure plates can exist with the name copper weighted pressure plate. I know, it's kind of wild. But over here is the crystallized prismarine sets. So these being crystallized prismarine made with 4 prismarine crystals makes 1 crystallized prismarine, and then 4 of the crystallized prismarine makes 1 crystallized prismarine, or 4 crystallized prismarine bricks. And then over here, what was on this side was light prismarine made with 8 prismarine and 1 amethyst shard makes 8 light prismarine. So yeah, it looks like that. And then over here, over on this side, we have chiseled prismarine and chiseled crystallized prismarine, which is made with 8 prismarine shards and 1 prismarine crystal, and 8 prismarine crystals and 1 prismarine shard. And they have a little Elder Guardian and Guardian eyes. This is the Elder Guardian, this is the Guardian. Now over here we have the Bubble Orb. Now I'm gonna read this. So this item has a chance to be found by killing a pufferfish or a Guardian at either 10% or 50%. For either or. Yeah, they can be found by killing either a pufferfish or a Guardian. Now over here, we have the Warped Wart, which is found in Soul Sand Valleys, and that's kind of it. It's basically the counterpart to Nether Wart, even making Warped Wart blocks, which are made the same way. You would make a Nether Wart block, which I think I'll show you, I don't know if I show you later, but yeah. Anyways, moving on to the flowers, the new flowers, those being the Puffy Dandelion, California Poppy, and Salmon Poppy. The new tulips, yellow, purple, magenta, blue, black, green, and cyan. Then over here, we're gonna go over here to the orchids, those being the yellow, white, and pink. They're basically just made the same way you would make they're found the same place. Well, the yellow orchid is found in the swamps, and these 2 are found in river biomes. Then we have the Barbatin, Blue Eye, Gerbera, and Mishamash daisies, which are basically new daisies. I just wanted to add more daisies, because I like daisies. They're kind of nice and cool. Yes, I know it's called the Blue Eye Daisy, but it's yellow. It's weird. But then over here, we have the Lavender and Peonia. This has a unique property shared with the Rose and the Ender Rose, where if you put 4 of these in a crafting table, it will make a peony. And then these will make a rose bush and a Ender Rose bush. These are found in the end, on the end islands, not in the regular end. I know that's kind of sad. And same with the Nova Starflowers, they're found on the end islands, not the regular end. But the Red Sunflowers, I don't know. I think they spawn in the Sunflower Plains biome. Obviously, spawning in the Sunflower Plains. They're supposed to be a rarer version of sunflowers, but they're not. They're the same. They're actually the same, maybe even more or less rare than a sunflower. I don't know. I don't know how to mess with weights. Anyways, Wither Rose Bush and Ender Rose Bush made the same way you would make the Rose Bush and the Rose Bush, which is 4 roses, makes 1 of each. Anyways, moving on. these I'm going to cover later. These are the new crafting recipes. And changed crafting recipes. These are all changed. The chests are changed. These are new. But yeah, well, we're going to move on to version 1B, which my mod, if you didn't see the intro, you just skip past it, has 4 versions. This is the second version, that being 1B. But I'm going to take a quick break to eat something in Minecraft. We are ready to go into the first area. I know it says 2, but the first area of version 1B. Now, this first one is the cherry and bamboo set, which are sets, crafting sets, whatever. Those being the cherry crafting table, cherry and bamboo crafting tables, cherry and bamboo ladders, cherry cartography tables, cherry smithing tables, and cherry barrel. And then all these for, obviously, bamboo as well. Then over here, we have versioned books, or whatever they're called, wood plank type, wood type, bookshelves for every book, for every wood type. Those being, I'm not gonna say all the wood types again. You understand. Added to the wood types are obviously cherry and bamboo. But yeah, this is what they look like. They look really nice, I say, because each of them represent the biome or space that they live in. It's kind of neat. See the pink of the cactus flower. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Anyways, over here we have the mosaics, which basically, if you didn't know, there's this certain type of block in bamboo, made out of bamboo, called bamboo mosaic. I don't know why this is not for every wood type, because it is a really cool idea. Now, these are made with 2 of any plank slab. It makes any of these mosaics. Now, these are neat because I kind of played around with the wood, like this regular wood texture, to make each of these. And they look nice, obviously. That's kind of the point. They're supposed to be used to make floors. They can make like floors, walls, if you really want. I wouldn't use them for walls. I'd probably use them for floors. Maybe pillars for these ones. But yeah, we're gonna move on to area 1, or area 1 of 1B. This is the new sign types, those being the stripped and mosaic signs and the plank and mosaic hanging signs. They are just practically made of those blocks, and they're just used to be different. Now, why did this not exist in version 1A? Because there was no other sign types. It was just the plank signs for every wood type. So it made sense to add this and hanging signs, mostly because cactus wouldn't have had a hanging sign if I didn't add a plank hanging sign. But yeah, now cactus has a hanging sign. Good for it. Moving on to the final area of version 1B, that being area 3. This is the new sniffer plant, the ancient rose, which comes with its ancient rose seeds. This is the crop block. I know it looks like the ancient rose, but it isn't. And then these 2 are the ancient rose in the regular and then in the flower pot. Then over here, the unique part about these ones is that these are the boats, those being the cactus, wooden, crimson, and warped boats. Now, these still don't work in lava, but I have a reason for that. Regular crimson and oak may not burn, but they do not, like, when you throw them in lava, do they disappear? Yes. So we're just gonna say that moves on to the boats as well. That's also including the chest boats as well. Anyways, moving on to the mosaic glass. This one is kind of unique. These are all unique glass textures for kind of like a regular stained glass. Because calling stained glass blocks stained glass isn't actually realistic. They should be called colored glass, but obviously they wouldn't call them colored glass. But these are made by smelting any stained glass or any stained glass pane. That does not include hardened glass, by the way. You cannot smelt hardened glass to make each of these. That's just not realistic. That would just melt the iron and cause a molten mess. Moving on to over here. Yes, I did say there would be no more copper items. I forgot about the buttons. Those being the iron, gold, copper, exposed copper, weathered copper, and regular and oxidized copper buttons. These are made with any metal nugget, makes any metal button. Obviously, each of these don't have a crafting recipe, so you're gonna have to wait for this to oxidize, sadly. Moving over to the final thing in version 1B. That being the Mighty Lavender. This makes the Mighty Lavender flower, which you need 4 of to make this. Because I tried to make this accessible via just planting it and growing it, but it never worked. So I ended up just making it so this just gives you 4 Mighty Lavender, and then you just make the Mighty Lavender from it. It's kind of unique. I like it. It's a unique flower. It's an ancient flower, like the ancient rose, but yeah. Anyways, let's move on to version 1C, the quickest, or the second quickest version. This adds tough tiles, smooth tough. This adds tough tiles and smooth tough, made the same way you would make all the smooth and tile blocks with bricks and smelting the regular version. And then over here, we have the tough crafting stuff, that being the furnace, smoker, blast furnace, and stone cutter, made each differently by, well, basically made the same way you would make all the other blocks, but with tough instead of stone or deep slate or blackstone. Then over here we have the tough buttons and pressure plates. They're basically just the tough button and pressure plates. Do I really have to go over them? They're not that special. Over here, we have new chisel blocks for stone, deep slate, and blackstone. Now that they share stuff with tough, they get something from tough, that being these new chisel blocks using either polished stone, deep slate bricks, or blackstone bricks to make each of these. Yes, I know, they're kind of unique. This one has a silverfish on it, this one's kind of gear-like, and this one looks like chiseled stone. It's not very unique, but the other ones are. Anyways, let's move on to the final thing of version 1C. That being chiseled iron and iron grates. They're made the same way you would make chiseled copper, to cut copper, or 2 cut iron slabs to make 1 chiseled iron. And then for iron grates, they are made the same way you would make a copper grate, which is 4 iron blocks, which I may change both that and the copper grate to use copper chains, or even copper bars, or even the bars. That's what I meant to say, not even the, or even the bars, I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the final thing in the mod, version 1D, the Pale Oak update, which just kind of adds all the Pale Oak stuff, that being the Pale Oak mosaic, and then the Pale Oak crafting table, the cartography table, the barrel, the smithing table, the bookshelf, the ladder, the plank sign, the or plank hanging sign, the stripped, the mosaic, regular sign, and hanging sign. Sorry, the fish are annoying the crap out of me. Yes, you, Guardian. Freaking weirdo. Over here is stuff like the Wandering Trader, which has a couple changed trades or added trades, so being the new flowers and the new dye block. Anyways, over here we have the tester for the snow brick. So this allows you to test the snow brick on either blazes or zombies. This is just to test the damage of the snow brick compared to the snowball. It's not as fast, but it does more damage, so you get more, I guess, bang for your buck. Now over here is the stew crafting thing, or stew crafting, suspicious stew crafter. Now this, you can throw in any of my new flowers and you'll get a suspicious stew. Trying to remember which one is good. I think it's the lavender. Lavender is the best one. So we throw in a flower, we hit the craft button, and then we should have the suspicious stew. Did it go in? Hold on. Give me a quick second to see if I can fix it. So now it should work. There we go. There's my suspicious stew. And it gave me haste. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyways, let's move on back to the crafting table area. So yeah, meet you there. So these are the changed crafting recipes and new crafting recipes. Those being, starting off with the quartz pillar, which replaces the 2 quartz blocks with the 2 quartz slabs. The chiseled quartz, which replaces those 2 quartz slabs with 4 quartz slabs, but still makes the same amount. Then over here we have the prismarine bricks, which are now made, instead of out of 9 prismarine shards, they're now made of 4 prismarine blocks. Then dark prismarine is now made with 4 regular prismarine and an amethyst shard instead of 4 prismarine shards and a black dye. Now moving on down to here, we have the change of the azure boutet and the white tulip to now give you white dye instead of gray or light gray dye. I don't know why they give you light gray dye when white dye now exists, but I don't know. Let's move on to these two, which just up the dye count from 2 to 4 for each of the dyes. Now over here we have the changes to the copper trapdoor and the chiseled deep slate, which just changes the copper trapdoor to now use 4 ingots instead of 6. And the polished deep slate is now made with 2 polished deep slate slabs instead of 2 cobbled deep slate slabs. It's just kind of weird that it's not made the same way as every other like chiseled block. But anyways, moving on to the ender pearl, which can now be made with a chorus fruit and 4 warped warp, and then an ender eye, which is made the same way as the ender pearl, but you put a blaze powder in the corner. And then over here we have the way to make the copper ingot and the copper nugget, which I forgot to show the recipe for earlier. It's just 1 copper ingot makes 9 copper nuggets. And then we have the recipes for both the rose bush and the peony, which made with 4 peonias. Anyways, now let's head back to the front and I'll say my piece, I guess. Anyways, now that the mod thing is now done, I'm going to talk about the mod. So this mod, obviously you saw it at the beginning, is in versions from 1.19.2 onwards to 1.19.5. Whenever 1.19.6 comes out, I will definitely be releasing a version for that. But I also have another surprise. I'm also making another new mod called, well, variant Armory. This mod will not come out for a while. I'm actually taking a break from working on it because it's starting to get to me. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult mod to make. Unlike this one, which was a little more simpler. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I will probably catch you next video, whenever that is.